What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel for the first time. It's so sick to be back, and I have such a crazy video lined up for you today. We're going to be taking the Honda out to QT Worx in Boysons, and we're going to be meeting up with Quintin. He's going to get this thing all dialed in, get the laptop out, and we're going to be tuning it on the dyno, so that's going to be super sick. I haven't actually heard this car go past 6,500 RPM, so that for the first time as an experience is going to be so wild, guys. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be super crazy. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it, so stay tuned and I will see you at the dyno. What's up, guys? So we have just made it to the dyno. We've made it to QT Worx. They're busy getting Samurai all strapped up. Gotta make sure it doesn't go anywhere, because I think we're going to be making some power today, boys. So let's see what we can do with that. That's not bad at all for the first pull.
The green line is the stage projection. As the staging starts climbing in, it starts going leaner, so the injectors aren't opening up to a certain point, and as soon as those injectors, the secondary injectors open, then it drops it straight down into thickness, like 11, all the way down 10.8. So we've got a minimum stage in QT of like 32%. That's the things I'm going to do. Nothing started at 13, then run it in and see if I can get it. Because we can just get it to control it and be consistent, run after run. The last time we did this, one run would be one thing, the next run would be something.
So you get different pressure speeds, right? So like for example, I think that one there, and it's got different colors in it. So the color codes with turbo smart, maybe precision will have a different color. So like for example, a yellow, they'll call it a 7 psi. So 7 psi is about, sorry, it's about a 0.5 bar. 0.5 bar. Whereas a 14 psi will be a different color, and then that will be a 1 bar.
So essentially the differences in the spring is...
The difference is probably just the tension.
Yeah, so it allows it to...
So it's just the amount of pressure for the diaphragm. So what happens is when the turbo pressure, the air from the turbo, right? Because remember the turbo works with exhaust gases. So what happens is your voice can just allows to regulate the amount of exhaust gases that spins the turbo. So it regulates how much exhaust gases they will spin the turbo to keep the amount of boost pressure, so it doesn't break the engine. So what happens, it's almost like a bleed off. So what happens is when it picks up 0.5 bar pressure, it will push boost pressure 0.5 bar, or before 0.5 bar, it will start pushing boost pressure into the waste cap in the bottom. And then that spring ideally will start squeezing and start lifting up the valve, the diaphragm. And then what happens is it's in plunger, and then that will lift up a seat, okay? and then that seat is connected. If you look at it here, it's connected. That seat is basically connected to your pipe that's on your manifold, okay? And that's what lifts up here, and then it allows for your exhaust gases to bypass. So now instead of getting all your exhaust gases going to your turbo, it's bypassing out your screamer pipe.
Oh yeah, because like, there are internal wastegates as well, that guys.
Internal wastegates mean it's just connected. It's connected to your turbo, and it works with the rod. And it's basically similar principle.
Yeah. Well, you see those on a lot of like OEM cars, like on the we've got a Juliet
for space.
Yeah. That as well. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that you can adjust as well. You know, for if you want more pressure and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is better because why you can regulate. So now what guys do is, it's too big. We're gonna have to get the cloth and then we're gonna have to use a cloth like. Is that the only one that we have? We don't have a smaller one.
There's another one that's the same size.
Same size. Okay, then get the water pump lines and the clean cloth for me, please. Okay. So basically, now what they've done is that's how come they've come up with boost controllers. So now what you've done is now a boost controller is a solenoid. So all you do now is you can still keep a 0.5 bar spring in, and then you can electronically control the amount of air from your turbo to your wastegate.
So if it's a 0.5 bar, you can control it. Are you controlling it?
Controlling the amount of air that's going to go to your boost controller. So now, for example, if this air could maybe go to your boost controller, I'm just giving a silly example. Maybe it takes 5 seconds for the air to fill up the wastegate, 0.5 bar to allow for the spring to regulate to push up now. Now it's going to take maybe 20 seconds. So what happens now is it means that now, instead of having 0.5 bar boost, you can now go up to 1 bar boost.
Okay, so you have more space.
So you have more, you can allow your engine to get more boost. You know, without having to keep changing your speed.
And it doesn't have controllers, they'll just tune it to wastegate pressure.
To wastegate pressure, or you can get the manual boost controller, which literally just
it's like a,
just slows down the amount of air. Which just allows, it's almost like a tip, it literally just slows down the amount of flow of air to the boost controller. I mean to your wastegate.
Okay, like it, cool. So as you guys saw in a couple of the passes that we had, and from what Quintin said, we've been having a couple of breakup issues with the methanol system. So what we're actually deciding to do, we're going to change the wastegate spring, and we're going to try and just tune it on pump and see where that goes until we eventually switch over to a flex fuel system, because I think that's going to be the best option moving forward. So the guys are currently busy now getting that wastegate spring changed, and then we're going to see what we can do on pump.
This is your duty cycle on the injectors. And when we get to 6,100 RPM, we're still at 11.1 AFRs at like 0.7 bar, and we're at 100% duty cycle. We're over the required fuels at 108 duty cycle, and the injectors lock at 85%. So that's why it's spiking lean like that.
Yeah, because it's not getting enough fuel. The injectors can't do it. It's like they're at their max right now.
We passed their max. And the point now is like, lower the boost to like 0.2 bar, then maybe we can rev out to 8.
But there's no point if it's not.
You're still going to make that power. You're just going to make it at 8,000 RPM. That's the thing. So
what?
Strokes and how long it takes between firing strokes
Yeah.
is your injection window. So 100% duty cycle means you using 100% of that open window.
Oh, so it's literally nothing more.
We're getting to 6,000 RPM and those injectors are just staying on. They're not even closing anymore. They're not even pulsing anymore.
They're
just
literally
staying
at their
on.
max point, and if anything, that's making the injectors work real
Well,
hard. Yeah.
it's not even about making them work hard. You just can't control. Like over 85% duty cycle, you can't really control.
Because how
it's
much only
it's because
spraying,
like your flow control between 85 and sort of 100%. The injectors are, for all practical purposes, open full.
Yeah.
So what you'll have if you're tuning, you'll get to 85% duty cycle, and if you go to like 87% duty cycle, all of a sudden the mixture will go very rich, and we're seeing it here because we're sitting over here. We're sitting at sort of like 12.5, 11.5, and then all of a sudden it dips really low as it reaches the end of that
duty cycle.
and then it just spikes lean because there's no more injector left.
Yeah. Well, let's see, because then even, I mean, if those are 380s, literally anything bigger than 380, like even like 750s.
No, 750s, so like 750s you'll get through on this boost, on pump fuel, you'll get a tune on pump fuel and get through all of it with this. Like that's not an issue.
Well, let's see what we can do, if we can do anything. Because if we just have to change the injectors, then that's at least not too hectic of a thing to do. So final update, I think this one is going to be the one that solves the issues we've been having. So we are going to tune this thing just on pump. We tried. The max power that we made was 159 kilowatts to the wheels. And that is because these injectors are tiny. These are tiny injectors. So we have just gotten some 1000cc injectors. They're going to arrive here soon. We're going to throw those in the Honda and then see what we can do. Maybe hopefully even rev it out all the way, because you know we love that VTEC. So yeah, let's see when those things arrive.
This QT Worx is part of a bigger company, which is actually Qualitas Training.
Oh, okay.
So Qualitas Training is youth. It's part of not only youth development, but it's a trade school. So a trade school meaning that we teach people to become mechanics, diesel mechanics, motor mechanics, electricians, auto electricians, welders, boiler makers, plumbers.
So you can essentially come in here and
do a trade. Yeah.
Literally
And
any trade.
we are accredited with government, and we are accredited for 10 trades under this building.
Wow.
So welding. So you can do welding like your TIG welding. So if you want to learn how to just build boost pipes and exhaust manifolds and exhaust pipes and whatever, that's what we can teach you. So you don't physically just have to come in and learn a trade, but if you just want to learn a skill,
A specific skill, yeah, and I think that's the thing with a lot of people nowadays is, like myself personally as well, like I was telling him, I wanted to actually go out and learn some trades, especially motor mechanics and stuff, because it's just a good skill to have. It's not really like you're going to go work in the trade or whatever. Just if you want to learn the skill, if you're building cars, if you have your own channel as well, because I'm definitely going to be coming through and learning some stuff, because I need to learn more about this.
you have to. Because the thing is, when you learn the skill, when you go to a mechanic, because unfortunately in this industry there's a lot of people who bullshit you. Sorry, I'm not going to try and find another term. That's just the case.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And now when you know the basics, when somebody says to you about this, that, and the other, you can say, but you know, that's not how it works. Why? Because you have the skill and you have the understanding of how that certain component works, and you can say, you know, but you bullshitting me because I know how this component works.
Especially guys who, like, let's use myself for an example. I just bought this car as a built car, you know, as well. Luckily, I had the people around me to help me understand this and actually trust this type of car. But a lot of guys are in a situation where they're going to buy a car that guy says it has this pistons, it has this, it has this, it has this, and then when you actually look at it, you're stuck with something that you can't actually even afford to go out and fix because you can't do it yourself.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why what I do is for customers is when I do an engine overhaul, or if somebody says to me, you know, do me a build, I always take photos. So I'll take photos from point A to point Z, so that the customer can see that, you know, I've actually, what Bilal said he's charging me for is what I'm getting. So what happens is he then builds himself an album, so that whenever he sells that car, he now has proof that he can show the client that, listen, this is actually what was done.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's a peace of mind, because if you're putting 150k or 200k into a car, you must be able to say, you know, here's the proof. I've actually done it. Where some guys say to you, we've had it on, myself and Quintin, we had it on the dyno with the guy with the 357 with the 2J.
Yeah.
You know, he was promised that he had 1000cc Bosch injectors, where he actually just had 1JZ injectors that was decapped.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the builder charged him for 1,000cc Bosch injector, or 750cc Bosch injector, whatever it was.
Whatever it was wasn't what they said it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, you get a lot of guys who do that, which is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we're here for. So, honesty is what our policy is, and I always tell the customers, even though I might be a bit more pricey than the guy next door, I'll charge you for what I'm going to put in for what I've charged.
Also, it's authentic. You guys are authentic in what you do. It's similar to what I want to do with this channel, which is why I'm covering stuff like this. It's because we're trying to give people the most authentic content. So if guys now know they can come here, they can come to QT, they can get stuff done, and they can learn stuff. Yeah,
and like, for example, like the guy with the rally car yesterday, I said to him, you know what, sir, I've plugged out all your old ECU and stuff, all your old plugs, ECUs in the back of the car.
Yeah.
The only plug that I had to use was the TPS plug, but I managed to get new lugs for it. So I deepened that plug and I put new lugs in, because unfortunately I couldn't find stock of that plug anyway. So he appreciated it. You know, so you be honest in what you do, because then you can be like, okay, cool, this guy was honest. So if he sees that plug looking a bit worn out, he'll know, okay, but Ballade did say that the TPS plug was.
People also knowing as much as they can, because like, it's really important for people to also understand their own cars. Especially if you want to be doing rallying and stuff like that. If he's at the track and you're not at the track, at least he'll know, oh, Bilal said this, he said this, he said this.
That's the important thing. And you know, I'm so, like, I honestly feel that I'm a very spiritual person, so I always feel that God puts a certain person in your life for a reason. And it just happens, like my friend JP Eubank, he's one of my good friends, and he's a guy that I actually met through one of my WhatsApp groups, a JZ group. And he checked me out on the JZ group, and he just popped in here because he's in construction, funny enough, and he was busy at one of the factories, and he just came through and he's like, hey Bilal, how's it, how's it? It's JP from the JZ group. Let me just check how's it going, because I posted some of my engine harnesses, and he's like, you're doing fantastic work. And that's what happened, and that's how we started becoming friends. And he's like, hey, I've got this friend Quintin, Bannink, and then that's how Quintin called me up. And Quintin's like, hey Bilal, can I please come through and use your dyno, because you're closer for me and stuff like that. So I'm like, cool, come use my dyno, let's get it going.
And something really
let's enjoy it. And that's how we've created this friendship. And then it's like, he owns Core EFI. I said, okay, let me buy a few units from you, let me start installing. And when he started seeing how I do my installs, and I don't do the installs to try and impress him. I do the installs because that's just the way I do it. But now when he sees how I do it, he's like, I can associate myself with this brand called QT Worx. Why? Because their work is fitness. And he's going to be comfortable knowing if somebody calls him and says, I need somebody to be able to do my wiring, my installation, he can easily say, go to QT Worx. Why? Because he has that trust in me now.
Yeah, of course.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's about building that trust and building that relationship.
Yeah, and also one of the things that I'm priding like the YouTube channel on as well is building a community. I think it's really important, because back in the day, the car community here was so strong and so wide, and something happened along the line and we lost that. And I want to try and bring that back, And
you know what? It's so difficult to be able to get people to start trusting you, because there's so many people that are
their trust was
exactly, and they fly by night, and like us oaks that are really genuine and honest in our opinions, it's really difficult for us to start getting back into the industry, because people are so skeptical. Is this oaks work really genuine? Is this oaks work really what it is? So now that's the reason why you have to post. And thanks for allowing us to be part of this channel, because this is probably going to help us in a sense of getting out there, being able to see what our work is.
And we're definitely going to be coming back here, because I've got like the Opel as well. We're going to get that thing sorted here, and then who knows what else in the future. Maybe we have a QT build, and then we got something crazy going on.
No problem at all. Thanks, Ben. Like I say, we're looking at, I'm going to show you our draft build that we're going to start soon. It doesn't even have an engine in it yet. I'm waiting for the engine from the engineers, but that's our 2023 project. So we're going to start getting that sorted, but the car is already here. So we're looking at all different avenues, and maybe who knows, maybe in the future we'll have a rally car as well.
Yeah, of course.
So like I said, Abdurrahman is now part of the team. He came from Cape Town. He's my wife's cousin. He's, like I say, he's a Honda guru. So I'm looking at getting all his expertise and start with the H22 builds soon enough. And I'm actually looking at and we're going to have a super awesome build coming up soon. I don't want to say too much.
You know what we'll do? we will keep it a secret, and as the build progresses, we'll follow the build. That'll be really, really cool.
I think so. I think we're
That'll
going
be
to do that.
super cool, yeah. And Flex Tool is super smart because it actually adjusts its ratios as it needs to.
Exactly.
It does everything it needs to do. Whereas
You know
this
what?
setup is very direct.
Core EFI. I've got in my golf now. We did a rally Runix yesterday. We've done a couple of drift cars with it.
Yeah.
We've done
A couple of super drift cars.
Super drift cars. We've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
a 350Z. We've
Yeah, I
done a
saw
couple
that,
of
yeah.
Lotus with it.
Yeah.
The brand is just growing and growing. I think since Quintin and QT Worx, myself, we've become into partnership with it. I think it's just going to take another level. And I think the more we're a lot on social media. I think we've been hectically busy on social media.
Yeah.
And I think every second day or every third day we're just posting. I know I've been quiet the last week or so, but I've started posting today.
Yeah,
And,
but you guys have been busy the past week.
We've been busy. We've been hectically
He's
busy.
wired a rally car from start to finish, a
In a
full
day.
install in like one day.
In a day.
That's crazy.
It was, but you're right, it was awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's amazing. So if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You know, on social media, at QT Worx on Instagram, QT Worx on Facebook, and that's about it. You know, TikTok as well. At QT Worx on TikTok as well.
I'll leave the
yeah.
links down in the description below for you.
Perfect, thanks guys. I appreciate
that's
it.
awesome.
And then for us, and like I said, we're getting our online store sorted as well, so we're gonna have some cool DIY engine harnesses built for like your major ECUs like Core EFI, or ECU Masters.
That's gonna be cool for guys who just wanna-
L-Tex,
Yeah.
all of that. So we're starting to implement a lot, and then I'll take you around the shop a bit later on.
Yeah.
And we'll show you.
That'll
the
be
feel of the
super
bolts.
sick. Yeah, that'll be sick. We'll go around the shop. We'll have a look at some of the crazy builds here.
100%.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you so much, man.
Only a pleasure.
Awesome.
Let's get this bolt sorted. Let's get going.
Yo guys, so we're still waiting for the injectors to arrive, but the car that was supposed to go on the dyno before me just arrived, and look at how sick this thing is. A Runix rally car. This thing is so sick. Wheel and tire setup. Oh man, this thing is incredibly sick, man. But yeah, so I think for now, if the injectors don't arrive soon, then we're gonna push the Honda off the dyno, get this thing on the dyno so that that thing can get dialed in, because he's gonna be competing this weekend. So hopefully the injectors arrive soon, and then we'll be able to get the Honda back on the dyno. So good news guys, the injectors have actually arrived. The Honda is still on the dyno, so luckily we can put those things in now, get it all plugged up, and then do some passes finally. It's been a long day, but it's going to be totally worth it in the end. So yeah, I'm super keen for that. Cannot wait for you guys to see it. Pass, it made 170 kilowatts, 272 newton meters to the wheels. That is really good. We haven't even turned up the boost yet, so I think we might be over 200 kilowatts today, boys. It's gonna be super sick, and this thing sounds so crazy in the higher RPMs, like I was saying. Yeah guys, this is insane. But yeah, let's check out the next passes for this thing. Yeah, it's gonna be super sick. what's up guys, I'm just gonna take a seat over here. So we actually managed to get the Honda sorted out, dialed in, tuned. We got the 1000cc injectors put in. The car's loving it. It's perfectly happy on the top end, and that's exactly what we wanted. And that launch control is, it's mental, and it's exactly everything that I wanted. But right now we've got the rally car that I showed you guys earlier on the dyno, so they're trying to dial that thing in for a competition that's happening on Saturday. So we're gonna take a look at that thing, we're gonna get some of its passes, and yo guys, just keep enjoying this freaking sick day that we're having. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.